Hi everyone, welcome back. Now today we will going to see how we can work on the list. Let me create a new task for that. Test list. Now when you search list here, expand the list here where you will have a different actions. Now I will start with assign first. So what I will do, I will going to create a new list. So let me give some values to this list. UI path AA360 Pega, and then I am going to store this into another variable which is lst data. Okay, now let's see the size of this list. So for that I will put action size. This is my list that is just I created. I'm going to store this into some number because if I want to see the size means the count of this list, what is the count in this particular list. So we can see it from here. So I'm creating a new variable here, and similarly, I am going to use a message box that I was using in my previous videos just to show you the result. Int number. I'm going to convert this to string. Now let me run this. Okay, now you see it is showing 3 count. Let me stop the bot and let's go to other actions. Now if I want to add some more item to this, I can use this add item. I have to choose the same list, the item you want to add. So for that you can create a new variable where you can assign a value to that variable. So before that, you see below there are, if you want to add an item to end of the list or on a specific index, so we will going to follow this one, the default one in the end of the list. Now let me create a variable, string variable, str new item. I would say default value I'm going to pass it here only. So my new value is Microsoft Power Auto Mate. Now this will going to show us 4 count. This is straightforward. If you want to clear a list, you can clear out, just you have to choose the list name. Okay, I'm not explaining this. This is pretty straightforward. Now let's move to the get item. Now in get item, I'm going to choose again the list, my list. I want to get an item which is present on specific index. Now if you see in my list that I have created here, so on 0 index UI path is there, on 1 index is A360, and on 2 index is Pega, and on third index is basically this new item. So I want to get an, let's say I want to get a value of this Pega, so I have to pass index as 2 here. So I'll pass index as 2, and I'm going to store this value to some other variable output. or I will write down as a found item. Now this found item, I will going to pass this into this message box. So found, okay, this is the one. Now let me run it. Now it is giving me the pega. So you have to define the index basically if you want to get a specific value. Now let's see what this join items will do. So in join, let's assume you have 3 items here, right? So you have 3 items here in the list. Let me select the list data. Okay, let me delete this one. We don't require this. So I'm using the same list here. You see this LST data. I'm passing this LST data into this join items here list variable. Now you see this assign the output to variable is something we need to pass here the string. I'll tell you why. So let's create one string for str output. Okay, now this str output I'm going to pass here str output. Now what this will do, this will going to combine all the list items on the basis of delimiters. Now delimiters can be anything. It can be comma, it can be underscore, it can be slash. So for now let me put the comma. Now when we see the result, it will going to print result in a string, but it will going to concatenate all the items separating the delimiters. Now the delimiter is comma, so you will see the result like this: UiPath comma AA 360 comma pega. So wherever you want to show a result from a list with comma separated, you can show like this. Now let's move to the next action, which is remove item. Choose a variable here, a list variable. I want to remove index number 0. Okay, just store it to, just provide any variable here, removed item. Now what this will do, will going to give you, this will going to give you the item which is get removed. So on 0 index, what is removed? UiPath. So it will going to give you that particular value. Okay, now I'm going to use a size just to check that okay, this item is removed or not from list, because if it is removed then the count will be decreased. The count is 3 of this list, then it should be 2 in that way. So I'm choosing a list, assigning it to some number, int number, and then I'm going to, instead of this number, let me give the proper name, which is int count. You see when I'm changing this from here, it will automatically going to change at other places. Okay, we don't need to change it manually. Now let me use a box, message box here in the actions, search for message box. I'll use int count then dot to string. Also let me print this value, any removed item, just to see okay, is it giving the value which is present on the 0 index, which is UiPath. So for that also I will use a message box and I'll put any removed item, any removed item. So what happened here, you see there are 2 items here in the list which I am storing into the list data. With the help of remove item, I am removing a zero index, and whatever value present on zero index, it will be going to be stored in this any removed item, and then I am showing that removed item value. After that, I am checking the count, basically the size of list. So I'm using a list data here, and then int count, this is a number variable. Then again I'm showing the count into the message. Okay, so this is the first message box which is coming. That means it is showing that okay, the UI path is removed from the list and the count is 2 now. If you want to remove any value, you can remove it from the list with the help of this remove item. Okay, now let's see the append, what this append will do. Let me first remove everything from here. For this, select a list variable. So I'm choosing my list. Assign the outcome to data table. For that, I need to create one data table. So I am creating a table dt data, and also I'm going to create a column name with a name, and let me apply to it. Let me use the first index for now. Okay, now I'm removing this. Sorry, but let me put a test here for now. Now what I will do, I'll put a breakpoint here. I'll put a breakpoint here, and then I'm going to debug this. Okay, so the bot is stopped here on the message box. Let me see the values of the list and DT data. So list data, if you see, we have UI path, A360 and Pega, 3 values. Okay, now let's see the next one, which is DT data. Now in DT data, on 0 index, you see it is automatically get added as a new column. So always remember, when you are adding a fresh list to a data table, it will be added as a new column always. So it has ordered on new column. Now why it is added to the new column? Because we have choose a properties. If you go to the properties and you see, we have choose as first index. Now if you choose as the last index, it will going to create a new column on the last index. Now if you want to specify the index, let's assume I want to specify index, I want to create it on 0 index. So what will happen in this case? Let's see. Okay, I need to debug this. Let me debug it instead of running, so that we can see the values at runtime. So now you see, on 0 index, this value is getting added automatically. Let's do some more R&D on this. Let me put some other index. Let me stop this for now. Let me give some other index, which is 2, and see if this will going to add a value to data table or not. Now this is giving us an error. Why? You see it is showing the incorrect column data has been entered. Please check whether the column position is valid. Now in our data table, if you see, let me go to the, let me close this for now and go to the variables, and then let me open this dt data. If you see here, I have only defined a 1 0 index here. If I have defined a multiple index, it might take a position before or after this. How? Let me create some more columns here. This is means 0 1 2. Now we have some of the columns here. Let me apply like this. Let's see. Now if I'm running bot now, basically we have 3 columns there, right? Which is on 0 index, 1 index and 2 index. So you see this is automatically added here. This is automatically get added here. Name is already there, 1 is already there. Now this was on 2 basically, so it is shifted to right and this is added here on the second index. So basically it is creating a new columns, it is creating a whole new column separately in a data table on a particular index. I think we have almost covered everything on the list. If you have any doubt, you can comment on my video, and don't forget to subscribe my channel. Have a great day.